The wind speaks first. It is a low growl that scrapes across the mammoth steppe. A warning carried on the scent of ice and distance. Below, the clan of Homo sapiens moves in the shadow of the herd. A thin, persistent line of brown and grey against the vast, pale green of the grasslands. They follow the mountain that walks, the great Pleistocene megafauna whose existence underwrites their own. For generations, this has been the pilgrimage, the unwritten contract. The giants provide meat that can be frozen, bones for shelters, hides for warmth, and ivory for the sharpest points of their ancient tools. In return, the clan follows. Their lives are long. Slow pursuit measured in the rise and fall of shaggy brown backs on the horizon. This is the unforgiving rhythm of prehistoric life. But the growl of the wind is changing. The old matriarch, her face a map of seasons, holds, she tastes the air. A skill passed down from her own mother, a legacy from countless human ancestors. It is not the familiar bite of a winter squall. This is different. This is a sharpening, a hollowing out of the world sound. The mammoth sense it too. They're low, resonant rumbles deepen. A vibration felt more in the bones than the ears. They begin to move faster, their immense strides eating up the ground, their pilgrimage suddenly a flight. The sky, once a high, indifferent blue, is curdling. A rod of white descends from the north. Not a curtain of snow, but an arasuer of the world itself. The sun vanishes. The horizon is gone. The clan is suddenly adrift in a roaring, featureless void. Punit, a cold and sharp-toothed thing, nips at their heels. To lose the herd is to lose everything. The matriarch barks a single, guttural command. They swarm the huddle, the oldest and most sacred of shapes. Hunters on the outside, backs to the gale, spears angled down. In the center, mothers shield infants, their own bodies the last defense against the killing cold. The wind shrieks, tearing at their fur-lined hoods, driving ice crystals like them into their eyes. They are no longer hunters, no longer a people. They are a single, shivering organism fighting to preserve its core temperature in the unforgiving heart of the northern Christ pair. The world beyond their small circle of shared warmth has ceased to exist. They can only wait for the white hunger to pass, praying that when the world returns, their gods of flesh and bone have not vanished with it. The world returns in pieces. First, the shriek of the wind recedes to a moan, then a whisper. Light bleeds back into the white void, a bruised, grey luminescence that reveals a landscape's coward clean. The clan uncurls from its frozen huddle, limbs stiff, faces etched with rime. They are alive, but they are alone. The trucks of the great herd, their compass and their lifeline, are buried under a uniform blanket of fresh snow. A silence settles, heavier than the ice, a silence that speaks of utter isolation in a world remade. There is no glory in this survival, only a cold, gnawing dread. This is a crucial moment in the story of human evolution, a test of more than just endurance. The late hunter, Tail, and a younger scout move out, their forms small against the immense emptiness. They are specters searching for ghosts. Always pairs. The clan waits, huddled around a meager fire fed with scavenged dung. The last gift from their departed gods. The return of the scouts is a frantic affair of sharp gestures and guttural sounds. They found tracks, but not one trail. Two, the herd, stressed by the storm and the relentless pressures of a changing climate, a slow, brutal lesson in paleoclimatology, has fractured. One set of tracks, deep and wide, shows the main herd moving east, into the unknown foothills. The other, shallow and more scattered, shows a small splinter group of perhaps 5 or 6 animals, including a juvenile, heading south, toward the familiar riverlands. The clan gathers, and the unspoken trust that binds them begins to fray. The choice before them is a blade with 2 sharp edges. Kale is the voice of immediacy. He holds his outlet high. The spear thrower, a potent symbol of his argument. He points south. The smaller group is weak, disoriented. They are prey, not a pilgrimage. A successful hunt is not just possible. It is probable. It would mean meat for weeks, a renewal of spirit, a victory against the white hunger. His eyes burn with the certainty of a man who trusts his own strength. But the matriarch looks cease. Her gaze is fixed on a future Kel cannot see. She does not speak of the hunt today, but of the hunts for their children's children. She understands that the small group is a dead end, a fleeting meal that will leave them stranded when it is gone. The main herd is the future. It is the river of life, and they must follow its current, no matter how treacherous the new channel. She points to the east, herd or sect. Her authority absolute yet fragile. The clan is split. The tension is a living thing, a predator in their midst. They are early humans at a crossroads, where the path chosen will define their very future as a people. In the end, the grumbling of empty bellies is a more potent argument than a matriarch's foresight. She concedes with a slow, reluctant nod. Kayla's path is chosen. He leads the hunting party south. A tight knot of grim determination moving across the snow. The air is still, the silence of the landscape amplifying the crunch of their high-drapped feet. There is no thrill in this chase, only the cold calculus of need. They are practitioners of the oldest and most necessary of survival skills. Within a day, they find them, a small, exhausted family of mammoths, their labored breaths plumbing in the frigid air, huddled near the edge of a frozen creek bed. They are vulnerable, exactly as Kel predicted. The attack is not a charge, it is an unraveling. Kayla's signal, a low whistle that mimics the call of a snow bunting, unleashes a storm of primitive technology. Spears, launched from a leverage of Atlantis, fly with lethal force. They arc through the grey air, aimed not to kill immediately but to wound, to blade, to slow. The world explodes into a chaotic symphony of sound. The high, terrified trumpeting of the juvenile, the deep, furious roar of the bull. In the sharp, guttural shouts of the hunters. The earth trembles under the weight of panicked flesh. The young scout, the same one who first found the tracks, moves with a dangerous eagerness. He sees an opening, a chance to land a decisive blow on the juvenile and prove his worth. He darts forward, spear held low. Kale sees the danger a second before it happens. The bull, its flank already dark with blood, pivots with impossible speed. It is no longer just a source of meat. It is a force of primal rage, a father defending its child. Kale screams a warning, but it is lost in the din. The scout looks up, his eyes wide with the sudden, terrible understanding of his miscalculation. He has time to see the curve of the tusk, a flash of ivory against the grey sky. Before the world is torn away, the charge is an act of pure, selfless instinct, a desperate, final gesture of protection that echoes the clan's own. The bull's life is spent in that single, furious act, and a moment later, a half-dozen spears find their mark. It slumps to its knees, a mountain collapsing, and is still. The silence that follows is absolute. The clan has its meat. The costages are small, still from lying broken on the blood-stained snow. That evening, as the first stars prick the darkening sky, two tasks are performed with solemn efficiency. The butchering of the mammoth provides life for the future. Nearby, the matriarch prepares the scout for his own long journey. She carefully anoints his skin with a paste of red ochre and animal fat, returning the color of life to his pale face. It is an act that defines their humanity, a ritual that will one day become a faint signal in the deep strata of archaeology, a whisper in the long, complex story of hominid history. They lay him in a shallow grave, his favorite spear at his side. The process of taphonomy will now begin, the slow claiming of flesh and bone by the earth, leaving only a story waiting to be found. The clan is saved, but their pilgrimage is now consecrated in blood. They turn east the next morning, their slants heavy with meat, their hearts heavy with the ghost they leave behind. They are fewer, but they are stronger, bound by a fresh and terrible memory. The price of survival has been paid in the currency of their own blood. a lesson that will be carved into the oral tradition of their ancient history. This is the engine of prehistory, not glorious conquest, but the relentless cycle of loss and adaptation. Their journey is more than a hunt. It is the forging of a social contract written in the marrow of their bones. Each act of shared food, each moment of collective defense, each ritual for the fallen, is a thread woven into the tapestry of what it means to be human. They do not know it, but in their small, desperate acts of cooperation and foresight, they are laying the bedrock for cities, for nations, for the very concept of a future. They are the answer to a question the universe has not yet learned to ask. Their hard-won resilience is the echo we feel in our souls today. The ancient instinct to form a circle when the wind howls, to share our kill, to mourn our dead. It is the quiet, unyielding voice of our human ancestors whispering that to survive alone is to not survive at all. The chroniclers seal the oldest stories are not written in stone, but in the tracks of those who walked on. And what happens when the tracks they follow lead not to life, but to the edge of the world?